the Percy Pumpkin Trick or Treat bag by Happy Days. It's fully lined, no raw edges showing, and it's big enough for lots of lovely treats. And this is what you'll need: fabric for the lining, fabric for the outer, fabric for the handle, and some fabric for the eyes, the nose and the mouth. And you'll need heat and bond, ultra hold, no sew. And this is how you make it. We'll start by making the handles. Take your two handle fabrics and fold them in half long ways and press, and then clip all along the open edge as I've done there. And then we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to sew all along there using 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once you've sewn all along, turn it the right way. I find that using my Prim turning set is an absolute godsend. They're widely available on eBay and Amazon, and you get lovely results. Once you've turned it the right way, press it and repeat for the other one. Once you've turned both your handles, put them to one side. Now we're working on the face. Take your black fabric and apply heat and bond applique adhesive to the reverse. We've used ultra hold, no sew. Draw around your templates and cut them out as I've done here. Once you've cut them out, carefully peel off the backing paper . As you can see, it can be a fiddle. Once you've taken the backing paper off all your shapes, place them on the front of your bag, and when you're happy where the shapes are, carefully iron them into place. Now take your remaining outer fabric and place right sides together on top, line up all the edges and clip into place. Once you've clipped it together, take it over to the sewing machine and start there and use 1/4 inch seam allowance. Sew all the way to there and stop, then round the bottom and stop, and then back up to here and stop. Once you've sewn all the way around, clip round the curves, and this will give you a better finish when you turn it. Now I'm going to turn it the right way around. I've turned it the right way and I pressed it, and now we're going to make the lining. Place your lining fabrics right sides together and clip around. Once you've clipped it, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and starting there, use 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew to there and stop, along there and stop, and we're leaving a gap at the bottom for turning. Start again there and stop, and right to the top and stop. I've sewn all the way around, leaving a gap there for turning, and now I'm going to put it to one side for later. And now we're working on the front of the bag. Take the front of your bag and one of your handles and measure 6 centimetres from there to there and clip one of your handles, and take 6 centimetres from there to there and clip the other one, and just clip it onto the front of your bag. Repeat this for the back of the bag. Once you've repeated for the other side, we're going to take it over the sewing machine and we're going to tack close to the edge. But what you've got to do is make sure that your handles are facing down. Once you've tacked your handles in, take your lining that you've made earlier and place your bag right sides together inside, and we'll line up all the side seams. I've clipped the outer and the lining together. I've made sure that the side seams all line up and the top edges all line up as well. And now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and starting there using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'm going to sew all the way around, joining the lining to the main bag. I've joined it all together and I've snipped all around the curves. I find when you're sewing your line, if you make a curve there instead of a sharp point, it gives a much nicer finish. And then I've snipped each of the corners, and now I'm going to turn it the right way by pulling through the gap I left at the bottom. Once you've pulled your lining through, fold in your raw edges of the gap you left, iron it, and then we're going to sew along there. And once you've sewn along there, tuck this lining into your bag. I've tucked in the lining and I've pressed it, and I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine for the last bit of sewing, and I'm going to top stitch all the way around. You could use your fancy stitches at this stage. And there's your Percy Pumpkin Trick and Treat bag all finished.